In this video, we are going to talk about top 10 Elementor Pro features that will instantly upgrade your website visually, technically, and professionally. Now, these are the same features top designers use to create premium websites that stand out. So if you want your website to look like a $2,000 plus project, then you need to keep watching this video. If you are using Elementor Pro but you feel like your website looks basic, then this video is for you. Hello, my name is Kobe and this is SkyTech Digital. In this particular channel, all we talk about is how to create a website using WordPress and Elementor. And if you want to create a stunning website, or if you want to learn how to create website, then this channel is the right place to be. So please do not hesitate to like, subscribe to this channel so that you tag along with this journey that we are creating to show or to project easy web design strategies to everyone who come along over here. Now let's jump into the video. Alright, so this particular features that we're going to talk about is only in Elementor Pro. And if you don't have Elementor Pro, I'm going to leave a link to this description. I'm going to leave a link in the description for you so that you can go ahead and then you can be able to get Elementor Pro for yourself. So if you type in skytechdigital.com/Elementor, you will be able to get Elementor Pro over there. So just type in skytechdigital.com/Elementor and you're gonna come over to this particular page over here, and then just select Elementor Pro, the one that you feel it's okay for you, and then you can be able to get Elementor Pro for yourself over here. I have already gone ahead to set up my Elementor. So install Elementor itself, the free version. So if you go to plugins over here, I have Elementor installed and I have Elementor Pro also installed. Okay, so these are the two plugins that we need. So you get Elementor Pro over here, and then you come to your website and then you install Elementor and then Elementor Pro also over here. Now the first particular feature that we're going to talk about is the theme builder. Okay, so the first game changer feature is the theme builder. Now this lets you change or design your website, entire website, whether header, footer, blog layout, single post, archive, product, page, all visually. Okay, so you can be able to do that all visually. And let's go over here and see. Now if you want to go to the theme builder, all what you need to do is to go hover on Elementor over here, and then under Elementor you're going to see template over here, and then go over here and then click on theme builder. So over here where you see template, just click on theme builder over here. You're gonna go ahead and click on it, and that is exactly what we are going to do. So you will no longer depend on your theme for your header and footer and all those single post and single pages design and all those kind of stuff, but you're going to depend on the theme builder. So this is particular, like it's just like you designing every part of your website just from scratch. Okay, and that is it. So you can design your header, you can design your footer, you can design your single post, you can design single page, you can design archive, you can design result, search results page, loop items, and then you can also do error pages and a whole lot of stuff. So this theme builder is a game changer, and it makes you design custom WordPress websites just by using Elementor and Elementor Pro, and that is it. So inside the theme builder you can set each template how they should really appear, either on a single page or even on your whole website. So let's say if I create a header, okay, so let's go ahead and see how we can be able to create a header. So you click on this particular one over here. So let's go ahead and click on it. All right, so this is how it looks like. So this is Elementor over here, and you can just drag and drop something over here. Okay, so you can either choose some templates from clicking over here to choose your own templates. As you can see, we can choose any kind of header template over here, or we can go ahead and then start from scratch. Okay, but I'm going to just choose a template, so I'll show you how it works. So let's say we want to use this template. We can insert it over here, click on apply, and this is how it looks like over here. So all what you need to do is to set up your menu over here. So let me just drag this one over here, set up your menu over here if you don't have a menu. Now let me quickly go ahead and then create a menu so you guys will understand what we are talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly go and create a menu, and then I'll come back and select the menu. All right guys, so after creating the menu, I'm going to go ahead and then select the template that I chose from the beginning. So I'm going to select this template over here, click on apply, and then we are going to see how it works. So as you can see, the menu is right here over here. So we've created a header over here, and this header we can decide to use it on the entire page or not. Okay, so this is our header. We have control over it. We can change everything that we want to change over here, and let's look at how it appears on also the other side of it. So as you can see, it is responsive over here, and if you look at it over here, it is also responsive over here also. So just like that, you've created a header, and all what you can do is to click on publish over here, and then it's going to show you the conditions where to display it. Okay, so you're going to add a condition and where you want to display it. So you click on add a condition, and then you can include either entire site, or you can either just place it on the archive pages or the single page or the singular pages. Okay, so it all depends on how you want to do it, but I want to do it on an entire site because the header I want it to run through all the site, and then I will just click on save changes over here. So now if I go to my website over here and I go and then visit the website, I'm going to see a new header over here, and as you can see, this is the header that I am using now. So you can be able to use the theme builder to be able to create your own header and footer just like that, any kind of template that you want, and then assign it to anywhere that you want to create. That is how powerful the theme builder is, and that is our number one on the list. Now our next one is also what we call the pop-up builder. Okay, so the pop-up builder. Now the pop-up builder is also one of the best conversion boosters in Elementor Pro. Now you can create email opt-ins, promotions, announcements, exit intent pop-ups completely by customizing everything you want. Okay, so it is not already created for you, you have to create it yourself, and the targeting rules let you display the right message to the right users at the right time. Now let's look at how this is done. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go to exit the WordPress, and then we're gonna go ahead and go straight to pop-ups. Okay, so as you can see over here, we see pop-ups over here. Under templates, you're gonna see pop-ups over here. So click on pop-ups over here, and you can be able to create your first pop-up. So like we said, it helps you to be able to create email opt-ins, promotions, announcements, exit intent pop-ups, and any kind of pop-up that you want to do just by completely customizing whatever templates that you want to customize. So let's click on add new over here, and then we're going to go ahead and then choose a template. So our template is type is what is the pop-up that we want, and we want to say maybe just pop-up. Okay, so let's do it pop-up 1. Okay, and we're going to create the pop-up. So we're going to create our pop-up the way we want it. Now of course, Elementor have a lot of libraries and other stuff that they've already created templates for you, easy to use pop-ups that you can be able to go ahead and then use it. Okay, but you can also create your own thing from scratch. Okay, so it depends on you. So let's say you want to create something like this. okay, something like this with image and all those kind of stuff, you can be able to create it. Now let's say I want to insert this one into it. I don't want to start everything from scratch. I'm just showing you how it does. So as you can see, this is the pop-up, and it's showing on our right hand side over here, and that is how it looks like. So it will pop up over here, and then you can even close it anyhow, you know, close it with the close button over here. So you can be able to edit everything over here. So you can be able to edit the image, edit everything, you know, make it the way you want it. You can even decide to change the color over here. Okay, so you can go ahead and even change you know, the colors over here, make it all black if you want it, and then make the words in it also you know, white. Okay, so it depends on how you want it, and that is how amazing this is. Everything is just given to you for you to be able to customize it the way you want it. So we're going to change this one to white, and we're going to change the text also to black. Okay, so just like this, you see, we've been able to, and when we hover, let's look at the hover. So when we hover, the text become also white. All right, so you see, we have been able to customize this one the way we want it. We can even change the image over here. If you want to change it, we just have to go ahead and then select any image that we want to select. If we don't have any image, we can just click on this one to add images you know, to our let me see if I can have some image to add to this one to make it. Okay, so let me just use this image over here. I'm going to just select this one, and just to show you how it looks like, how you can be able to upload an image and all those things. So this is how it looks like. You can go ahead and then, you know, insert it, and as you can see, we have different image over here. So that is how a pop-up looks like. Now after you know, doing all what you have to do, designing and all those kind of stuff, you can go ahead and then publish it. Okay, you can go ahead and publish it. You can also you know, set up things that you want to set up. So let's look at how we can be able to go ahead. This is the site settings. Let's look at how we can be able to you know, just add some other stuff. So these are advanced rules, these are triggers, these are display conditions that we want it to display. You can set advanced rules, you can set triggers, you can set display conditions and other stuff also over here. So all depends on how you want to design your own pop-up and other stuff, how you want to, you know, make it appear on your website and all those things. If you come over here also, these are the recent things that we did. You can be able to do so over here. Now if I close the pop-up, let's see if I can close it. Okay, so I'm not able to close it basically because the pop-up needs to have the everything over here to be able to work with. But of course we can view preview changes. I want to check out something. Okay, so this is what I was looking for, the pop-up settings. Right now when you click over here, you can be able to see all the other changes that you can be able to do. So for instance, we can, you know, set up the width of the pop-up. So how do we set that up? So you see, this is what the width of the pop-up, the way we want it. Okay, you can set it up the way you want it. You can either position it in the middle like this, or vertically, something like this in the middle, not just like this or like this. Depends on how you want to show. Okay, and then if you want, you know, an overlay also, you can either show or you can either hide it. Right, you can hide it or you can show it. And then also the close button, you can either you know, hide it or you can show it. Okay, depends on you. And then the entrance animation, the way you want it, exit animation also depends on you. So let's say if we put it in the middle like this, we can change the entrance animation anyhow we want it. And then also the slide out, also we can change it anyhow we want it. So let's say the entrance animation, we just want it to fade in, okay, and then the the exit animation also, we want it to fade out, okay, so fade out. So basically that is it. And then you go to general settings over here, the pop-up name and all those things. You can do a preview, you can select content or page and other stuff that you want to preview on, and then you are good to go. So these are some of the simple settings that you can be able to. When you go to style over here, you can be able to also style it the way you want it. So for instance, the close button over here, you can either put it inside or outside, okay, so it depends on how you want it. And then you can also position it anyhow you want it, so vertical position, horizontal position, and all that kind of stuff. You can change the color, you can change the background, you can do a whole lot of stuff for it. So depends on how you want it. So if I want to change it to this side, I can be able to change it. So let's say I can even change it anyhow I want it. I can let it go maybe inside over here, and then I can also let it come over here, okay, and then I can increase the size to make it a little bit bigger. So let's see. All right, so it's going to be something something like this. Okay, so this is the close button over here. So that is how you can design your pop-up anyhow you want it. And after that, like I told you, over here you can set up your triggers and all those things, okay, and you can also go ahead and publish it. So if you click over here and you set up your display conditions, okay, or let's say I close it and I try to publish it, it will still come over here, right? So that is how it is. So I need to set up my display conditions, I need to set up my triggers and then advanced rules for it. So display conditions, I want it to display on the entire site, okay, and then for the triggers also, on page load, on page scroll, okay. So let's say I want it to be on page scroll, okay. So maybe when you scroll the page for, like, let's say down for, like, let's say 20 percent, it's supposed to show over here, right? And then you can also exit intent and all those things on page exit, right? So if somebody wants to exit the page, it's gonna show, okay. So we can also use this one also. And then advanced rules over here, you can show after X pages, show after X sessions, show after, all those things are things that you can be able to use the pop-up builder to be able to do. So this is not just something simple, it goes beyond that, and I'm just showing you the feature and how you can be able to use it. So let's go ahead and click on save and close, and we publish it. So let me go ahead and publish it again. Save. All right, guys, so as you can see, we've published it, and then we can be able to go ahead and look at how it looks like. So if I go over here and I view the page over here, and because I have nothing over here, I cannot really scroll. But if I try to exit, you see, you see the pop-up really shows over here, okay. So that is how it looks like, and I can be able to close it if I want. So if I try to exit, it wouldn't come because I've closed it, okay. But if I reload the page again over here and I try to exit, it will still come back over here. And that is what with the pop-up builder, okay, with a pop-up builder. Now let's go to another one which we call the loop builder. Now we were talking about the loop builder when I introduced the loop builder to you from the beginning. When we were talking about the theme builder, I mentioned some of the things that you can be able to do, and the loop builder is one of the features that you should be able to look out for. So for instance, if you want to get control over your blogs, products, portfolios, and the listings, how they all appears and all those kind of stuff, then the loop builder is one of the features of Elementor Pro that you should look out for. You design the loop once, and Elementor automatically pulls dynamic post into that particular layout. So this is perfect for blogs, e-commerce, and directory websites. So let's go ahead and see how it looks like. All right, guys, so this is how our blog page looks like, and this is the loop that we are talking about. So this is how it looks like. Now we want to customize this particular page with the loop builder that we are going to discuss over here. So to do that, we're going to go ahead, go over here to our dashboard over here, and then we will go to template. Under template over here, we're going to click on theme builder over here. So I'm going to click on the theme builder over here, and then we will design our own loop. Okay, so we'll design our own loop. So we're going to go ahead and click on the loop item over here, so that we can be able to add a new loop. So we click on it to add a new loop, and then we will, I'm going to show you how you can be able to create a new loop from scratch. So you can either use the ones over here, but I'm going to show you how you can be able to do that from scratch. So I'm going to come over here and then click on this one, choose this one, and I'm going to choose one of this one. So this is it. This is my container over here, and what I'll do is inside the first, I'm going to just add another container over here. Okay, and then duplicate this container to be two different containers, and over here I'm going to add the featured image over here. So I'm going to drag this one, and I'm going to have a featured image over here. So as you can see, it pulls in a random featured image over here, and then underneath this one, I'll have my my title and all other stuff. Okay, so I'll come over here, click over here, and then I'll drag in my post title over here. Okay, dragging my post title over here, and I'm also going to click over here, and then the post accept. Okay, so I'm going to also drag in a post accept also over here. So this is post accept, and then you can go ahead to click on, these are all dynamic, so you can use the length over here. So let's say I just want just 15 over here, so it will pull in, if there is a post accept, it's going to pull in a post accept over here also for me. And then after that, I'll just click on, maybe I'll add a button over here. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to add a button. So I'm going to add a button over here, a button inside over here. So let me just drag in this one over here, and I'll say maybe read more. Okay, so I'll add a read more button over here. So this is not about design, this is about how you can be able to get it done. So over here we see this one over here, which we're going to talk about it, which are called dynamic tags. I'm going to click on it, and then I'll assign it to a post URL. So the post URL will be assigned to it, and then even with this one also over here, I'll use the link over here to assign it to a post URL over here. So if this is how I want it, I can also decide to even give the whole kind of design and other stuff. So let's say, okay, so over here I want to come over here and then style this one a little bit. So I'm going to come over here and then give it a different kind of fill. So let me just give it this, let's see, yeah, so something like this. And then with this one, I'm going to use this, yeah, so this is how it's going to be like. We just want it to just meet, and then over here I'll give it 50% border radius, a border radius over here, 50 pixel border radius over here, which is going to be something like this. And then over here I'll give a padding, a little bit of a padding, like maybe 20. Okay, and this one I'm going to just style it, just give it like maybe 25. And Yeah, so come over here also and give it something like this. Okay, and with this one also, I'm just going to give it, yeah, something like this with 17 pixel size over here. And then over here, what I'll do is I'm going to come over here and then give it a border. Okay, so I'm going to give it a solid border, and I'll give it a solid border of 1, and it's going to have a border radius of 14, and the color of the solid border, I'm just gonna leave it just like this over here. So it's gonna be something like this. So this is how actually how it's gonna be like this. Okay, so if there is no except, you won't see any except over here. If there is an except, it's gonna have an except. So basically this is how it's gonna be like. Okay, and then we can, this is a loop that we've created, and it will multiply itself once you know, we add the conditions and other stuff, and then we set it into a page or whatever thing that we want to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to just publish this one. So we publish it, and then we publish the loop, and then all what we need to do is to create a page for that particular blog page for that particular, you know, loop. Okay, so this is currently our blog page over here, but we don't like the way this one looks like. Okay, so we want to really change it. Okay, so we want to create a page and call it a blog, and then we set the loop into this one. Okay, so what we're going to do is we can go ahead and even edit, you know, edit this page. Okay, so we can go ahead and edit this page. So let me go ahead. So it says you are currently editing the blah 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 page over here. So you see you cannot really edit it because that is what where the blog page really shows. Okay, so you can decide to create a template for it. So I will go ahead and then go to under template. I'll go ahead and click on saved template over here, and then what I'll do is I'm going to click on add a new template, and then I'm going to select my template that I want. So I want you know, maybe an archive template over here. So I'm going to select an archive template and name it maybe you know, blog post. Okay, so blog post, and then I'll click on create over here. All right, so this is you know, the blog post archive template. You can decide to name it anyhow you want it, but I'm going to just come over here, and then what I'll do is I'll just pick this thing over here, and then give it, you know, like a 300 over here. Come over here, select an image for it. So I'm going to just select a simple image or any kind of image that I want to use for it. All right, so I'm going to select maybe this, or maybe this, or any kind of image that you want. So let me just select this one, and then I'm just going to just leave it like this, or let me just make the image cover, and then I'll say no repeat. Yeah, and then position, I'll make it center, and then that is it. So I'm gonna go over here and give it a top of 550 over here. I'll come over here and then just put maybe our blog over here. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here, position everything in the middle, just like that. Put this one also in the middle, and change this one to white. Come over here and make it like 55 pixel. Okay, so over here also I'll go over here and then give it background overlay. So give it a darker background overlay over here, where you're going to see everything. So this is basically it. So over here, I'm going to just add a new container also over here. And what I'll do is I'll go to it advanced, set all the patterns right. So I'll give it like this. And then over here, I'm going to search for grid or loop. Okay, so you see this one which says loop grid. So I can drag it over here. And then we can select the template that we want. So what template did we create? So let's say post. Let me give it. Okay, so this is the loop item that we created, which is this particular one. The name over here, we did not really give it a name. So this one over here, as you see, loop item number 49. Okay, so that is exactly what we're going to pick over here. So as you can see, this is how it looks like. So it picks all our blog post over here, and now we can have something like this. Okay, so you can either make the column maybe 2 to be something like this, or you can make the column to be 3. Okay, and this is quite okay. This is nicer, this is beautiful, more than what you have over here. So you can publish it, and then you can set a condition to display this particular template. So you can add this one, and then you say maybe you want it to be on all archives. Okay, or maybe search results or post archives. So we want it to be on post archives. Okay, so just post archives also over here, or categories or another stuff. So let's say post archives, and then we will save it over here. All right, so now we have it on post archives. So now if you go to our post again, so let's come over here. I'm gonna go ahead and let me just go over here, or I mean anywhere. So let me just click over here to view the page. So this is the page, and let's click on blog over here and see. So as you can see, this now becomes our blog page. Okay, so now you see that we have nicely designed blog page just by using the loop grid and other stuff. Now, not just the loop grid, you also have the loop carousel and other stuff. Okay, so as you can see over here, if you are adding if you go over here, you can be able to see, if I type in loop over here, you see we have loop carousel. Okay, so this one will be changing just like a slider over here. Okay, and that one is also something which it is nice to do. So you can set up your images and other stuff to make sure that they all appear equal, so everything will be nice. But that is how the loop really looks like. So that is what with the loop grid. Now this is perfect for blogs, e-commerce, and then directory website. All right, so talking about the loop grid, then we will talk about the dynamic links, right? The dynamic links, remember that we use it to access single pages and other stuff. So as you can see, it goes over here, right? So these are what dynamics dynamic links. So if you go over here, you see when we wanted to link this button over here, what we did was to click on let me close this one, let me cancel this one. This is the normal link, but if you wanted to make it a dynamic link, then we have to click on this one, and then we select a dynamic link for it. Okay, and that is it. Now of course you can also use ACF and other stuff to do all those dynamic tags and all those things. Okay, so dynamic tags are also very, very important. Now for instance, we creating the loop over here, and then let's say let me go back to the dashboard. Let me go back to the dashboard, and then I'm going to show you something. Now first of all, let's install ACF. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and install ACF. So ACF is what? Advanced Custom Fields, right? It helps you to be able to add additional fields to your pages and post. Okay, so I'm going to install this one, and then I'll activate it. Now if you don't have Elementor Pro, all what we are doing you can't be able to do, and that is why I told you that you can get Elementor Pro in the link in the description over there. By clicking on the link in the description, just use it to, now it's an affiliate link. If you use it, it helps you, it helps us also a lot to be able to continue creating this particular tutorials for you guys. So we have ACF, or advanced custom fields, already installed. Now we have it over here, which is ACF. Now let's go, we have field groups, and then we have post types. Okay, now we're not dealing with post types, we are just dealing with the field groups. And then we will just create a group. Okay, we'll add a group, and we're going to add some fields at the post side. Okay, so let's say we'll add a text over here, and then with the text we're going to say maybe what do we even say, maybe okay, so let me see what I can add to this. So let me just name this group as post. Okay, so post group. And then over here, what can we do? I just want to create something so that you guys will understand how the dynamic links really works. All right, so I am going to go ahead and then use, let's say okay, so let me just use a select field, right? And then I'll name it maybe category. Okay, so category, right? Category. Okay, and then so that is, the field name is category, and then the choices over here, it says enter each choice on a line. So we have maybe website. Okay, and then we have Elementor, and then we have WordPress, right? WordPress. All right, so you can enter each default value on a line. So I'm not going to enter anything, and then return value is the value, and then you can select either multiple or not, depends on how you, but I'm going to just leave it as simple as that. So this is the field that we have created. And where do we assign the field to? So show this field group if it is a post type, it is equal to post. Okay, I mean, you can decide to show it. So if it is a post type and it's equal to a post, show it over there, and that is it. So I'm going to just you can look at the presentations also over here, and you can look at the group settings also over here, but I'm just going to just save it. Okay, just save it, and that is it. We have the category group over here. Now if I go to post over here and I click on all posts over here, and then let's say creating a WordPress with a website with WordPress, and I click on edit. Okay, you see that there is a category, a post group over here which says category, right? And that is it. So over here it says creating a website with WordPress. So we can choose WordPress as the category, and we save it, right? We save it. We go to the next post also, and then building an Elementor website. So over here we can also choose an Elementor as a category, and then we save it. All right, and then we also go to the next post, which is Elementor Pro website. Okay, so over here also we can choose Elementor also, and then save it over here. And then we go to the next one, which is the last one, which is how to create a website. So this one is website. We just save it over there. So now we've selected category for all of them. Now let's go to the loop over here, and then we're going to refresh this particular one over here, and then we want to add something like a category in that particular loop. Okay, so in that particular loop, so over here I want to add a category on top over here. So let's say I will come to let me use a text or a heading over here. Okay, I'll just put it over here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and style it. So I want to style it anyhow I want to style it. So this one should be like a 15 or maybe a 14 over here, and I want the color maybe to be red or orange. Okay, orange over here. Now you see this one over here, I want to remove it. Okay, I want to remove it. All right, so after removing it and I click outside, I'm going to see this dynamic tags. So that is what we are talking about, dynamic tags. So we're going to click over here, and then we scroll down where we see ACF. Okay, so see ACF field, just click on it, and then click on this ranch icon, or the gear or the spanner or whatever icon over here. Then click on this one. You see category over here, click on it, right, and the category is over here. And you see creating a website with WordPress. You see that because we have already selected WordPress for it, WordPress is showing over here. Now we can go ahead and click on publish over here because we've done it. And now if you go to our blog page over here, all the categories needs to be showing over there. And as you can see over here, all the categories are showing. So this is WordPress, this is Elementor, and this is website. Okay, basically as that. So this is what dynamic tags. Okay, this is dynamic tags. Now it shows dynamically just by tagging it at where it's supposed to, what it's supposed to be. Okay, so the category of this particular loop will be able to show on each of the loops that is showing over here, and that is what dynamic tags. Now you can use dynamic tags to do so many things when you want to create a dynamic website. Okay, so and that is how dynamic tags also works. All right, so the next one that we're going to talk about is what we call motion effect. Okay, motion effects and then scroll animations. Now you go to a website whereby there are kind of motion effects and animations and other stuff over there. Now Elementor Pro allows you to be able to do all those kind of features and tricks for your website. Now it is also very simple to do. For instance, let's say we have this website over here, and if we scroll, we want to have some kind of effect over here. Okay, we can basically do it. So we can select any kind of section or widget that we want. So let's say we select this section over here, we go to it, advanced over here. Now the free version, you can, when you select motion effects, you can have entrance animation as free. You can be able to do use entrance animation to do some certain tricks, and that's especially like, let's say fading over here. So if I save it right now and I go to the home page and click on it, you see that this one over here fades in. Okay, so I'm going to just get rid of this pop-up. It is really beginning to annoy me right now with what I'm doing, so I'm just going to go ahead, go to pop-ups, and then I'll go to quick edit. Let me see if, okay, so let me edit with Elementor and then do some editing with the triggers and all this kind of stuff. So I'm going to come over here, and the trigger over here, I'm going to remove scrolling from it. Okay, and then I'll just make it on page exit intent. So I'll save this one, and I think it's going to be fine. So let me go over here and exit to. All right, so we are talking about the motion effect over here. Okay, so like I said, if you come over here and then you refresh the website, and when you are scrolling, that kind of effect should happen over here. So So let me go over here and then add some proper motion effect over here. So over here, you can either fade in, up, fade in, left, right. Okay, so let's say we want to fade in right over here, and we click on this one, refresh it, come over here, refresh this one. You're going to see that this one facing over here. So that is the simplest animation that you can be able to also do. But another one that you can do is also adding scroll effect and other stuff. So when you come over here, you can be able to let's see. So we have transitions over here. Okay, so all these transitions over here, you can be able to use it with the animations and other stuff. So you can rotate, you can offset, you can scale, you can skew, you can flip horizontal, you can flip vertical, and all these ones are animations that you can be able to use it. Okay, so you can also add scroll effect, you can add mouse effect. So when I turn on scroll effect, I can be able to scroll vertical and all those things. So if I'm scrolling over here, you see that it is going up. Okay, you're gonna see. Now let's say I give this one over here, let me come over here and give it a background of white. Okay, background of white, and let's say I am scrolling, you will see that it moves it moves up. Okay, if I come over here and I go to motion effect over here and I click on this one, now it moves it moves up. Okay, so you can even adjust the speed and all those things. You can adjust the viewport, okay, and all those things. So the way you want it to show over here. Okay, so as you can see, it will be it will be moving the way you want it. Okay, and that is how it looks like. So those are the simple things that you can be able to do. We have transparency, we have blur, we have rotate, okay, we have scale, and then a whole lot of stuff. So you can be able to use it. And then we also have mouse effect. When I turn on the mouse effect over here, I can track the mouse. Okay, so as you can see, yeah, it is moving in the opposite direction. So if I move this way, the mouse move this way. If I move this way, the section also, or the entire container moves that way. Okay, and that is it. If I change it to direct, so if I move this way, it moves. If I move this way, it will also move. And that is now you can use it in, like, for instance, if I want to use the mouse effect over here, if I go to motion and I click on mouse effect over here and I use this one, you see that, if I go this way, it goes this way. If I come over here and then if I go this way, it will move. If I go this way also, it will move. If I go up, it will also move. If I come down, it will also move. And that is what the mouse effect also. And then we also have the 3D tilt also. So as you can see, it is tilting the way you want it to tilt. So you can tilt it in the opposite direction and all that. Those are the kind of things you can be doing with these cool animations. Now remember that you need to be careful with the animations. Subtle animations look professional, too much looks very messy. Okay, so you need to know what you are really going in for, and then you can be able to do it. And that is what with the animations and all those things. So I'm going to get rid of mine over here because I don't need them. I don't need all those things. And that is what the motion effect and scroll animations and all that. Now we are moving on to the next one, which is advanced form builder. Okay, advanced form builder. Now Elementor Pro gives you the chance to build your own form without installing any plugin. Okay, so when you have Elementor Pro and Elementor installed, you can use Elementor Pro to build your own form. So Elementor Pro Forms Builder is extremely powerful. Now you can create multi-steps forms, you can create additional fields, and payment integrations. You can even make it perfect for lead generations, surveys, feedback, and small e-commerce workflow. Okay, now let's look at how the form looks like. Now I'm going to just put a form over here so you guys will understand how the form looks like. So we click on add element and then we search for form. Okay, and this is the form over here. This is the form over here. So we will just drag in the form over here. We're just going to drag in the form over here, and we can quickly create a form that we want to create. So you can add any kind of forms that you want to add. So you can even add a multi-step form and all that. Okay, you can also do additional forms over here. You can emails, you can collect submissions, actions after the user submit, the buttons, and then the form fields also over here. So you can also, the labels and other stuff, you can show whether it is required or not. So if you want to add an item, so this is what the name, the email, the message. So let's say I want to add maybe telephone number. I can click on this one, change this one to telephone over here, and then just add the maybe phone number over here, and then also add a placeholder which is phone number. Okay, and then I can move it up under the telephone number under the email over here, and that is how you can be able to easily add all those things. And it's very easy for you to create. It's not really difficult for you to create it. It's very easy for you to create it. You can change the size, the input size, and all those things. You can make it medium, you can make it large, depending on your needs. Okay, and that is it. So that is how the form, you can style the form also the way you want it. When you go to style over here, you can be able to style the form and do it any way you want it. All right, so that is how it looks like, and the form looks like, and that is how you can be able to also create a form using Elementor Pro. You don't need any additional form builder plugin, you just need Elementor Pro. All right, so the next one is WooCommerce Builder. Okay, so if you look at the I'm going to close this one. If you look at this one, we have WooCommerce over here. So product, so let me just go to product. So because we do not have WooCommerce installed, all those basic things you don't really see it over here. Okay, but let's go through and see. Okay, so because we don't have WooCommerce installed, it is not over here, but we can go ahead and then add WooCommerce also to it. So let's go ahead and then see. So with I'm going to add WooCommerce. I'm going to go ahead and add WooCommerce plugin. So I'm going to go to add plugin and add WooCommerce and see if I can be able to. All right, so I'm going to install WooCommerce, activate it, and I'm going to skip the setup and then go to my store straight away. All right, so this is WooCommerce over here, and we have WooCommerce installed over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, publish what I have right now, and then just refresh this one. All right, so guys, let's scroll down. Okay, and we will be able to see WooCommerce over here, and when we click on it, we see that we have a lot of WooCommerce also widgets over here. Okay, element or widget over here, so you can be able to use it to create single product page or template, add product gallery, add price, use dynamic product data, style the layout, and a whole lot of stuff. Okay, so that is what the WooCommerce Builder. Now if you have all these widgets, you can do a lot. Okay, so those of us who wants to customize our own WooCommerce website to make it look differently from the normal WooCommerce pages, you can be able to use the Elementor Pro to be able to do that. And this widgets or this feature in Elementor over here helps you a lot to be different, to customize your everything that you want. So for instance, let's say we want to build a single product template. We can be able to use this particular WooCommerce over here to be able to build it. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one product. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, go to product, go to add new product, just add one product, and then we will be able to use that product to be able to build whatever thing that we are building. So if you come over here, I'll give my product name as, let's say it's a template, right? So let's say we want to build one template called the let's say arc line Elementor template. So a template over here. Now I'm going to give the product image, which is this one. This is a construction arc line over here. I'm going to give the product over here, and then this one I'm going to say maybe $35, and it's a downloadable product, so I can go ahead and then add my downloadable files. So just going to use this particular one over here and then just name it arc line. Okay, and when I go to inventory limit, I want it to sold just like that, no shipping and all those kind of stuff. So I'm going to just click on this one, and we can add product to it. So I'm going to just go over here and add product description, and also add short description also to it. So with a short description, I'll say maybe something small. So I'm just going to remove this one. So this is it. And then we can also add some, let's say we want to add this ones as product galleries. Okay, so we can add product galleries also to it, and then we can even add this one as template as a gallery. So template over here. So all right, so we have everything set up over here. All what we need to do is to click on publish. Okay, so if you want to take a look at how the product looks like, we go to the product page over here, and this is how it looks like. Okay, it looks like every normal product. Okay, every normal product. Okay, so this is how it looks like, every normal product. But this is not what we want. We want our templates to look different. We want it to look different, and we want users to be able to see that, oh, this is a different kind of product page. So how do we do it? We can go ahead and then create a template for it. So we can go ahead and also go to under Elementor template over here, click on saved template over here, and we can go ahead and add a new template. Okay, add a new template. We select this one and want to say single product template over here, and then over here we say we name it maybe product or single product. Okay, so let me say single product. Now this template will be used for all single product templates on our website. So single product template, and we can be able to customize the template or design the template the way we want it. Okay, so we design it the way we want it. So you see, you can choose some of these things over here and make it how you want it, or you can create your own thing. So first of all, what I want to do is I want to just create a big banner over here. Okay, so I'm going to just give it like a 500, or 500 over here, and then go to advanced, unlink the padding, make it 50 at the top, 50 at the bottom. Go over here, go over here, make it classic over here, and over here we can decide to use dynamic tags over here. So I want to go ahead and use dynamic tag over here, and I'll say featured post over here. Okay, so as you can see, it gives me the featured post over here, and then I can come over here and then center everything, make it no repeat, go ahead and make it cover over here. And if you want to add scrolling effect and all those things, you can be able to do that. We come to overlay over here, come over here, and I'm going to give it an overlay over here, and then let me give it like a 75, and then over here I'll add the product the product name. Okay, so the product title over here. So I'm going to add a product title over here, and as you can see, it gives me the outline template over here. Now of course we can link it to the product itself, but I'm going to just leave it as it is, because even if somebody clicks it, it's still going to come to the same page. And we're going to go over here, give it over here. Let me come to this page, and I'll come to center it, center everything, come over here, make it, let's say 45 or maybe 55. Okay, and then make it all white. So you see, this is the product title over here. I can also come over here, and then product short description, I can put it underneath this one, right? I can make it just like the way I made it over here, give it the text color to be white over here, and yeah. So before that, let me just go over here and then change this one to maybe 800 over here. So it's going to be something like this. So we have this one, and then on top over here I want to add the ratings, right? Yeah, product ratings on top over here. So I'm going to add a product ratings on top over here. So the star colors, I'm going to make it like this. Okay, star colors, and then the empty star colors will be white. Okay, and then if you want to link it, you link it. If you want to link it, the typography and all those things, you can be able to link it to the way typography and all those things, the star size, you can keep it the way it is. So basically we have this one over here, and then over here you can put in anything that you want to put in. Okay, so you can put in your product price, your whatever it is. So let's say I come over here and let me just just divide this one into two. So I come over here and give this one also let me pick a container. Let me pick a container from here, duplicate this container. Okay, come over here and give it like this, and then I'll come over here and then put something over here. So maybe the same product title over here. I give it over here, and then let me come over here and style it to make it the way I want it. So the same product title over here, and then the next one, I want to give it the product price over here. So the product price over here, and then I also come over here, and then what do? I can decide to give the product long description. Okay, instead of short description. So the product content, right? I put the product content over here, and then even over here underneath this one I can put add to cart. Okay, I can put this add to cart button also over here, and I can just copy this one also over here and come in, just paste it also over here. here. So basically that is it. And over here I'm just going to put the product images. So I'm going to put all product images over here. So as you can see, these are all the product images over here, and you can style it anyhow you want to style it. You can style it anyhow you want to style it. So you can do a whole lot of things with this one. And if let's say I publish this one, it's not good, I know it's not good, I know it's not the way you want it. And even over here we can add related product underneath this one, but I'm just going to show you something. I don't want this thing to be that long, so what I'll do is I'll just come over here and link the padding over here and give it a top 80 and then bottom also 80. Go over here and give this one 40. All right, so you can do a whole lot of things with this one, okay, depending on what you want to do, right? So all depends on you. You can go ahead and publish it, then you set a condition for it. So if you want to include all products, including categories, including tags or product by author and everything, you can do that. I'm just going to leave it at all products and gonna click on save over here. And now if I come to the outline product over here, which looks like this, and if I refresh it right now, you see now it is what it has changed, right? It has changed. So this is how it looks like, okay? And if I click on add to cart, it will take me, it will add it to cart, and I can be able to view the cart. Now amazing thing about Elementor Pro is that you can even design your cart the way you want it. You can design your checkout also the way you want it. Everything you can be able to do it the way you want it, okay? And that is how it looks like. So that is with the WooCommerce Builder. You can build different layout. The shop, you can build custom shop pages, custom category pages, or you can be able to do it with Elementor Pro. Now at this stage, if you still don't have Elementor Pro, the link is in the description. Please go ahead and use the link to get Elementor Pro. All right, so let's move on to the next one, which is number 8 over here, and which is custom CSS. So you can be able to add custom CSS to your WordPress website. Now normally how to add custom CSS is just going to the customizer over here. You go to your customizer over here, and then additional CSS over here, and then you add all the CSS that you want to add to your WordPress website. But with Elementor Pro, you can be able to do so with ease, because you can be able to add custom CSS to any section or any widget that you want to add. So for instance, if I click on this particular section over here and I go to it advanced over here and I scroll down, you see there is what custom CSS over here, okay? And this feature is only in Elementor Pro. If you are using the free version, you're not getting this feature. So you can add your CSS just for this particular section over here. And if I click on this one also and I go to it advanced also, I can be able to see the custom CSS, and I can add a custom CSS for just this particular text over here, okay, heading text over here. The same thing applies to this button and all other things over there. So that is how the custom CSS works. All right guys, so let's say we want to change the background of this particular text over here. So I can click on this text over here, this pencil icon over here, just click to select it, and then I go to custom CSS, and then I can put the code that I want to use over here. And then what I'll do is I'm just going to use this gradient CSS ID over here. So this is the CSS ID, which is gradient hover effect over here. Then I come over here to the layout, and then I'm going to put the class over here, okay? So that is a CSS class, so I'll put it over here, and as you can see, the color changes over here, and this gives me the effect that I want for it. So you can use custom CSS to be able to do whatever thing that you want. But if I remove this one, you see that everything goes. But if I put the class over there, CSS class over there, you realize that everything changes over here. And that is how the custom CSS works. Okay, so you can be able to use custom CSS to customize your website the way you want. Now another one too, that is the ninth one that we're going to talk about, is the global widget and style system. So you can create global widget and then use it in various pages or any sections of your website globally. Okay, so you can create global widget. It lets you create reusable components like call to action sections, maybe buttons, testimonials, and update them across the entire website in just one click. Now this saves you massive time when building multiple pages. Okay, so when you're building multiple pages and all the other pages have one particular thing that cuts across all the the other website, the same thing, all the other pages, all what you need to do is to use global widgets and styling system to be able to do it. Now how do we create a global widget or something? All right, so there is no direct way to really save Elementor section as a global widget or a global section, but you can save it as a template and reuse it in a different page. But with the widget itself, you can be able to save it as a global widget. So let's say you've created this particular container over here inside everything, and you want to save this whole thing as a global widget. It's not possible, but you can save it as a template, because when you right click over here, you can be able to save it as a template and reuse this same thing in a different page. But you can save this particular widget inside the container as a global widget. So if I right click over here, I can be able to save as a global widget. If I right click on this particular button over here, I can be able to save as a global widget. So I can click on save as and then name it maybe button, okay, and then save it, and then it's done. It's saved as a global widget. Now as you can see, it is over here. Okay, now if you go back to over here and then refresh this one, we should be able to see the button as a global widget over here, and that is it. Now if you go to saved template over here, we have the button over here. If you go to published over here, we have the ones that we've been saving. These are all templates that we've been creating, and as you can see, we have them over here. Now another way is saving another thing is saving the whole template and the whole thing as a template and then using it. Now if I save this one as a template over here, so when I save it as a template and then I name it maybe about section, I can be able to save it over here. Just save it and it becomes a template, but it's not a global widget, right? So anytime I am creating something, so let's say I create a different, let's say, let me go back over here and I create a different page. Okay, so let me just create a different page, add new page over here, click on edit with Elementor, and then I want to bring in what I saved. Okay, all what I need to do is to click on this icon over here, this folder icon over here, click on it. Okay, and then I'll go to template over here, and then you see the about section over here. I'll just click on insert, click on apply, and it will be inserted over here for me. Okay, unlike the widget whereby you can be able to just search for the global widget, okay, and then you can be able to look for it. So let's say if I click on button over here, I should be able to look for the global one that I used in creating it. So it's under widget over here, but when I go to global over here, you see we have button over here. Okay, so this will be what the global widget that we can use, and I can just drag it in over here, and as you can see, I have this button over here already. and you can be able to either edit the link or unlink from global the way you want it. And I can just go ahead, right click on it, and then maybe delete it. So I can just maybe unlink it over here, and then click on unlink, and then just click over here, then delete it. Okay, so basically that is how the global widget works. So you can add different widgets as global, but you cannot add sections and containers as global, but you can save them as a template, and you can be able to use them on different pages the way you want it. And that is with a global widget for number 9. Now number 10 is display conditions. Okay, so display conditions. Now when you are display conditions lets you control where a template appears. You can show specific headers only on blog pages, custom footers, and product pages, or special banners only for logged in users and other stuff. And then these add personalization and flexibility to your entire website. So for instance, if I have this one and I want to use display conditions and other stuff. Now of course we have visibility and other stuff in Elementor. We also have that kind of display that I was using when I was showing you how to be able to create your own header, the templates that we're all using display conditions. But this kind of display conditions over here is in advanced settings over here. Now we can go to responsiveness, which will be able to display on how do you call it, on different devices. So when it is, we want to show this one maybe only on how do you call it, only on desktop. Okay, so then we hide the tablet and mobile, and then it will only show on desktop. So if I come over here, it will only show over here, but if I go over here, it will be empty. If I go over here, it will also be empty. But if I come here, this one will show. And that is one display conditions that you can also be able to use. Now let's go to the layout over here, and we have display conditions also over here. Okay, now over here we can be able to give a condition for how this particular widget over here, or how this particular section over here will be displayed. Now if I add a condition over here and I say okay, display when the page title is, and then maybe I can put something over here. Okay, or display only if the user is a logged in user. Okay, so I can just select this one, display only if the user is a logged in user, and then I can be able to save this one. Right now, if I publish this particular page over here, if I publish it, okay, and let's say, let me give a title for this page. Let me go over here and give a title and say maybe this is contact, right? Or yeah, maybe this is about, okay, about us, okay, about us page, and let me just publish it. All right, so if I come over here and I refresh this website and I go over here and I add about us to the link, I should be able to see this one. So the said page is not found. So let me just go ahead and check it out. Why is the page not found? So let me just come over here, view. Oh, okay, so the name is still not changed over here. So let's say this particular page over here, right? I can see it over here, but let me open it in a new incognito over here. So let's just go over here and open it over here and see if I can be able to see the page itself. Now guys, as you can see, this is about us page, all right, but there is nothing showing over here. Why? Because we are not logged in. Okay, But if you come over here, because we are logged in over here, we are able to see this page over here, with this section over here. So we can decide to go ahead and just leave something over here. Okay, so we can just leave something over here, underneath over here, and then say maybe click here to log in. Oh, sorry, let me just add this one and say click here to log in. Okay, so click here to log in, and we're gonna put it in the middle over here. Change this one to, let's say 15, maybe 17. Come over here and change this one to, let's say, this one, or we can make it even red, right? Can make it red, so it's something which is needed. And then we also come over here and go to advanced, and then scroll down, then display conditions over here. We'll add another display condition, and then also say show this if it's logged in or is logged out. So this one is logged out, the other one is logged in. So we can go ahead and publish it. When we come over here and we refresh this particular one, let's go down, we will not see it. Okay, we can't see it, right? But let's go ahead and check this one over here and refresh this one. You see, we have click here to log in over here, which means that if you are not logged in, you cannot see the section over there. So visibility display conditions are used basically for, you know, dynamic content and all those things. If you want to hide something, if you want to you know, just display it to a specific page, a specific users, you know, specific row users and other stuff, and then also maybe logged in users, logged out users, all these things can be done using dynamic display conditions, and these are the 10 you know, pro features or Elementor pro features that you should have in your website. If you want to create a completely custom based website, then these features you shouldn't be missing. Now, if you need Elementor Pro, like I said, I'll leave the link in the description for you, and you should be able to go ahead and use it. Now, if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next tutorial. If you want a step-by-step tutorial, tutorials for any plugin and other stuff, please you know, just leave it in the description over there, or leave it in the comment section over there. I'll go ahead and then create tutorials step by step for each of the pro features that I have you know, just briefed you about. Okay, so in today's tutorial we talked about 10 Elementor Pro features that you should have to turn your website to a $2,000 plus website. Now, the first one we talked about was theme builder. The second one is a pop-up builder. The third one is loop builder, and then the fourth one is dynamic content and dynamic tags. And then we also talked about motion elements, motion effects, and scroll animations. We also talked about advanced custom builder, form builder, advanced custom form builder, or advanced form builder. And then we also talked about WooCommerce Builder. We talked about custom CSS. We talked about global widgets and style system. And then we also talked about the display conditions that you can be able to make your website really dynamic. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Kobe, and this is SkyTech Digital. See you in the next video. Bye bye.